We have to remain strong in life because although it may bring harsh times, the pain is not forever. There will always be obstacles present in our lives. We don't have any other choice but to face them. In some cases we will succeed, but in others we may fail to overcome. However, what really matters is not the pain that comes with failing, but the fact that this pain will last forever. Pain is only for the moment. A few years ago, we went for vacations to visit my family in Brazil. We visited places that we hadn't been for a long time. One of those places was one of my uncle's farm. Traditionally, all of us would go horseback riding, but this time only my parents and I went. I decided to ride the eldest white horse while my mom rode one of the youngest horse and my dad went walking to accompany us. We went out of the farm to make it a longer trip. My dad started pulling my horse with a rope. On our way back, my mom's horse started to run. My mom was trying to stop, but the horse just wouldn't stop running. As I stayed back, since my horse was old and could barely run, my dad went after them. I could hear my mom yelling far away until there was a point that I couldn't see or hear anything. At this point, I started to worry because I was alone in an unknown trail with my slow riding horse, and my mom and my dad had disappeared. I started to worry even more when I finally arrived at the farmhouse. I saw the horse running without my mom on it. I turned my head and saw my mom on the ground, surrounded by my uncle's farmers. At that instant, I knew something was wrong. I got off my horse and started running in order to reach her faster. When I finally got to where my mom was, she couldn't move and felt dizzy. So my uncle decided to take her to a hospital immediately. My dad and I went back to the farmhouse to warn my brothers and my sister and leave to the hospital. They asked me what had happened and they told me that they had thought that the accident had happened to me. During the whole drive to the hospital, I was scared of what was going to happen. My sister was trying to calm me down, but I just couldn't stop panicking. She told me to be strong and to stay positive because everything would be fine. It was still hard for me. Many different thoughts were coming to my head. I was thinking that it was my entire fault and I shouldn't have gotten the elder horse. But then I learned that things happen for a reason. When we arrived, the doctors and nurses were already attending her. My mom couldn't remember anything. She would only repeat that her head and arm were hurting. She stayed a few nights in the hospital until she got a little better. When she got out, she still felt dizzy and could barely walk. It was a hard time for us and for her. For a few months, she would still feel dizzy and get scared when the car went too fast because every time she would remember about the accident. At the end, everything resulted better than we thought it would. This experience taught me that we have to stay strong and be positive in any situation, no matter the circumstances. Being positive helps us to keep calm, knowing that afterwards the results will be greater. This I believe.